In Star Wars Rebels and again in The Mandalorian, we see Ahsoka Tano with white lightsabers. But why are they white? Why did she start off with green ones, then later had blue ones, and now they're white? When Ahsoka Tano was promoted from youngling to Padawan, she arrives to meet Anakin Skywalker for the first time with a single green lightsaber. Later, she gets a second yellowish green lightsaber, a much shorter one. This one's called a Shoto lightsaber. Towards the end of the Clone Wars, she leaves the Jedi Order after being falsely accused of bombing the Jedi Temple. She also leaves behind both of her lightsabers in a symbolic gesture of rejecting the Jedi life and finding her own way. She eventually makes her way back to the Jedi while trying to help Bo-Katan and the Mandalorians from Darth Maul and Pre Vizsla's Death Watch. Anakin, showing how much he cares about his former Padawan, gives her a gift, a blue lightsaber and a blue Shoto lightsaber. Then Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Rex, and part of the 501st Clone Troopers head off to Mandalore. Palpatine sets in motion Order 66. Ahsoka, Rex, and the Clone Troopers are coming back from their fighting in the Siege of Mandalore when, following their orders, they turn on her. She escapes, saves Rex by removing his inhibitor chip, and then they fake their death in one of the most heartbreaking scenes in all of Star Wars. Ahsoka leaves her blue lightsabers behind, parts ways with Rex, and makes her way to the remote Outer Rim planet of Tabeska, changing her name to Ashla. Now, the name Ashla is a word used by the ancient scholars that studied the Force on the planet Tython. They referred to the light side of the Force as Ashla. She finds work with a wealthy family of smugglers called the Fardi clan. She works for a while there, befriending the family, including a Force-sensitive child named Hadala. At the very first Empire Day, the Fardi kids come to her telling her that the Imperials want to meet everyone. With all the Imperials in town, she plans to sneak off the planet by setting her blaster to explode, causing a distraction, then takes one of the Fardi's freighters. When she escapes, an Inquisitor shows up on Tabeska. We later learn that it's the sixth brother looking for Force-sensitive children. Ahsoka then escapes to an Outer Rim moon called Raeda, where she poses as a mechanic. She befriends a local farm girl named Kaden. Now, at this time, she's still in hiding, not using her Force powers and still without any lightsabers. At this point, she also has no idea what has happened to Anakin, but she finds herself reminiscing about her former master, about R2-D2, and all of their adventures together. She eventually becomes the village mechanic, and also becomes friends with some of the other kids on the farming crew. One day, an Imperial Star Destroyer shows up, and she is chased on Raeda by the Empire, who discovers her after she uses the Force to rescue one of her friends, a farm girl, and some of her friends she had befriended on the new planet. Back on Tabeska, the sixth brother is getting close to the Force-sensitive girl, Hadala, when he is called to go deal with a Jedi presence on Raeda. Ahsoka then flees Raeda, decides to return to Tabeska, unaware of the sixth brother that's been tasked with hunting her down. But when she gets back to Raeda, the little Force-sensitive girl Hadala tells Ahsoka about the shadow she felt the presence of recently. Ahsoka decides she's gonna stop hiding. She's gonna stop denying her connection to the Force and to fully embrace helping people. She decides to then travel to Ilum, the planet where she gets her lightsaber crystals when she was a Padawan, only to find that the Empire was mining huge amounts of kyber for some mysterious reason. They have completely ravaged the planet. Devastated, she returns to Raeda to find the sixth brother waiting for her. He had kidnapped the girl Kaden, the farm girl she had befriended, and used her to lure Ahsoka in. As the sixth brother attacks Ahsoka, she draws on the Force in order to avoid his attacks even without a lightsaber. The sixth brother puts his lightsaber out in front of him as the blade emitter begins to rotate around the circular hilt. Ahsoka sees this and immediately notices the weakness in his attack. She reaches out, grabs the hilt, cracking it with the Force. This causes the lightsaber to explode in his hands, killing the Inquisitor in the explosion. She picks up the red kyber crystals from the broken pieces of the lightsaber. Kyber crystals are red from a Sith or dark side user bleeding them, pouring all of their pain and their hatred with dark side energy. What Ahsoka does here is she uses the Force, the light side, to purify the red crystals. She pours herself, her light, into the crystals, turning them white. This is the only way to get white lightsabers. It's by taking red crystals from a Sith and purifying them. Ahsoka then reconstructs her newly curved handled lightsabers, one single-bladed hilt and another one, the Shoto. The Shoto lightsaber is actually the same type that Grandmaster Yoda uses. Ahsoka uses this as part of her two lightsaber fighting style called Jar Kai, and of course, she prefers the reverse grip. Ahsoka is definitely top 3 in my favorite characters list, and I'll be putting out lots of videos about her as we get closer to her series next year. Now there are 9 other Inquisitors plus 2 that are unnamed. If you'd like to know more about them, click on this video here, and thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.